random shit.
Random shit.
So when Jake and I prep, quote unquote prep for this, which is not much, we spitball ideas at each other about topics that we want to talk about. Sometimes the topics that we want to talk about are not fully fleshed topic ideas. They're more so just like random tidbits of information that we want to throw in there. So this week, it just so happened to be that both of us each had random tidbits that we wanted to throw in. So now we're going to start this new thing. Random shit. Do you want to start, Jake? What's your random shit you want to talk about?
To random... Oh, did we have random shit prepped?
You wanted to talk about Clubhouse.
Oh, that's my random shit. I hate it.
That's all you wanted to say was just that you hate Clubhouse?
Yeah, I want to get people's opinions on it because I absolutely hate it. You haven't explored it yet, right?
No, I haven't done anything with it.
Basically, what it is you join these rooms, quote unquote, and they've built the hype by making it so you can only join if somebody refers you. So people keep posting like, oh, who needs an invite? I got you. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. No one actually cares. And then you go into these rooms that are audio only, and they're hosted by one or however many moderators. And so then it's like supposed to be for creative people or whatever, and it's like supposed to be a form of networking,
right? Okay.
Social network. But every room that I've joined so far has either been A, really obnoxious, or B, just a bunch of people who really enjoy listening to themselves talk, which is odd for me to say since I co-host this podcast.
Right.
But
are they just arrogant about what they're talking about?
See,
is that what bothers you?
Some people say that they've found rooms that they've really enjoyed, but like last night I was like, okay, I'm going to give this one more shot. And I joined some sort of entrepreneur, like business pitch room, and they were just arguing. It was like a bunch of older business dudes literally arguing with each other. And I was like, this is fucking dumb. Why do I want to sit through this? I don't. So I left. And then I joined another one that was like social media secrets with professionals or something stupid.
Okay. That one sounds interesting, though.
Yeah, it does sound interesting, but it's just a bunch of these people who have large followings for no reason, who I don't give a shit about, telling me all of their secrets, quote unquote, which I'm like, I didn't learn a single thing. And
okay.
Maybe just because I am educated on the topic already, but it just seems like it's a bunch of obnoxious people.
I haven't tried to use it because I really didn't see any reason for me to be on it. And honestly, TikTok's taking over my life, so I don't have room for another social media platform. But you had texted me and you said that something really cool happened in one of the rooms that you were in.
Yeah, so I was in another one for filmmakers, and this dude was pitching, I don't know, I didn't hear the whole thing. That's the other thing. You come in late and then you miss everything. I'm like, this is really annoying. So somebody was pitching something, and then another guy was like, oh, I will use you for this. Just, like, email me. And this dude ended up, like, getting a job with this guy through this room on Clubhouse.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
But is that the norm?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So it's less likely that you're actually going to benefit at all from being on this site. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe. I don't know. But it would be like if you and I decided, hey, we are very successful podcasters. We are going to host a podcast boot camp where we're going to teach you everything you need to know. Right. It's like, who the fuck are we to tell people what to do?
Yeah.
You know, like, unless you actually have some sort of, I don't know, it's just a bunch of people like that. Like, if you and I were to be like, let's host a weekend event with a bunch of people who want to do what we do.
Yeah, I don't like that. I'm kind of glad I haven't looked at this site at all, because that just doesn't seem like it's up my alley. So many people keep talking about it, though. Like, all over Twitter, everybody's, like, talking about being in these Clubhouse rooms and meeting people. So I had it on my list of something that I wanted to try, but I guess that ain't going to happen. You kind of ruined it for me.
No, I think you still should try it. That's why I want to talk about this, because I want to hear if any of you have had a positive experience, or if it's worth me trying again, or just move on because my life is taken over by my little phone screen anyway, and I don't need another thing on there.
Yeah, I think you should probably just move on.
Yeah.
For the best situation for you is to move on. just like we're about to move on right now.
What's your random shit?
So I had posted recently that I wanted suggestions for candle companies to buy new candles from, because I always am looking for like different brands to buy and different ones to try out, especially small businesses. And everybody kept saying Wax Cabin Candle Company was like the go-to. So I looked at their website and I found a few candles that I thought were really cool. One is called Book Lover, and it benefits the Mendham Township Library, which is near me. During the pandemic, apparently they went through like a really rough time. So a portion of the sales go towards that. And then this other one was like a collaboration with an artist that looked really cool on the outside. Like it was just like a sick illustration on it. So I bought both of those candles, and as a little surprise, they added a 20-somethings doing nothing candle.
I love that.
Into my box. So I opened it and it has our little logo on it, which is so cool. And then it says fragrance notes, very cheap Merlot, health insurance, being 20-something.
So they clearly listened to last week's episode.
Yes, I thought it was so cool. This company has worked with Carla Marie's Side Hustlers and Acquired Taste. Oh my God, that took me a second. I was like, what is it called again? So she's worked with both of those podcasts to make their own little candles. And she did this one for me, and I thought it was so cool. And it smells bomb.
That's pretty genius on their end, because it's something really tiny like that will now make you buy from them again.
Oh, hell yeah. Like, I'm going to consistently keep buying from them. So many people have reached out to me too, saying like, oh my God, can I buy one? I want to buy one this week. Once I get paid, I plan on buying one.
Are they a New Jersey company?
Yes. They're in Chester,
awesome.
New Jersey, which is also really close, like near where I live.
I used to have a few of their candles on my desk at work, and now I don't have a desk at work.
Okay. Well, then I guess there's no need for candles at work for you.
Oh, speaking of New Jersey, I have one more random shit.
Okay.
Okay, so at 4:20 p.m. today, I don't know if you saw this, the New Jersey Twitter account, which is at NJGov, tweeted that today Governor Murphy signed into legislation that marijuana is now legalized.
Yes. Which I'm very confused about.
They posted this at 4:20 p.m.
Yeah, they did it on purpose, obviously.
That's freaking amazing. I'm going to send this to everyone that's ever shit on New Jersey and be like, is your state that cool? Because I don't think so.
I'm confused about this whole situation, though, because wasn't it already signed into legislation to start in January that it would be legal?
I have no idea. I think it would just like passed before and then now it's official. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure how any of this stuff works. I try to learn about politics and then it just frustrates me. So then I just say fuck it and don't want to know anything about how our government works. It's way too complicated.
Well, it's great because now marijuana is legalized.
Yeah, no, I think that's awesome. I think it should be legalized everywhere, if we're being completely honest.
We are being completely honest. Funny you should ask.
I don't know why it's illegal to begin with. It's really ridiculous. Have you ever watched the movie Blow?
No.
With Johnny... I'm sorry, what, sir?
I have never watched the movie Blow.
It's such a good movie. You need to watch it. Anyway, there's a part in the movie where the guy...
Is it an old movie?
It's a little bit older, but it's not like super old.
Kind of like us.
Yes, kind of like us. But there's a part in the movie where he gets arrested for transporting weed. And his whole defense on the matter is basically being like, why am I in trouble for taking plants over an imaginary line? Like, I don't understand why this is happening. And I was like, interesting. He's not wrong. Like, the borders of every state are just these imaginary lines. And every time you cross them, it's different every single place you go. And weed really is just a plant.
Damn. That would have been a really good shower thought.
We do have shower thoughts later.
The country is made up of imaginary lines. Mm-hmm. Damn it. Now I'm mad that you told me that because I want to use it.
I'm sure you have another lovely one ready for later.
Yes, I do.
So now that we're done with the random shit that we wanted to talk about, let's go back to my nephew.
Your nephew is alive and thriving.
Yes, and he's so cute and so adorable and so fat and chunky. His little cheeks make me want to die because he's just so freaking cute. But I'm convinced that he doesn't like me. Like, I think he already hates me.
He's like 3.5 hours old.
I met him over the weekend, and he was 3 days old at this point. And I was holding him. First, I had to pry him out of my mom's hands because I went with my mom and AJ, my boyfriend, to go see them when they got out of the hospital. And my mom would not let him go for the life of her. So that was fun. I had to like pry him out of her freaking arms. So as I'm holding him and I'm looking at him and saying how cute and adorable and perfect he is, he like started crying and getting like fussy and upset. And I was just like very confused because he was very calm in my mom's arms. So then like I gave him back to be fed, and like because we were hoping maybe that was what it was. And then AJ held him, calm as a cucumber, happy as could be, so very nice and lovely as he's in his arms for like 20-30 minutes, however long it was. So then I asked for him back because I want to hold him again, and as I'm holding him, he starts fucking crying again. So both my mom and AJ held him and he was totally fine, but every time I would hold him, he would start crying.
Maybe he doesn't like your hair.
And he farted on me.
Oh, that I don't blame him for, but that's sad that he cries when you hold him. Maybe your purple hair
Both
freaks him out.
times. The purple hair? What? Why?
I don't know, because it looks so different from everyone else that's held him. He's like, who is this alien?
Someone had said to me that it's because I used to yell at him through his mommy's tummy. So he's already like, oh my God, I hate you. Get away from me.
He knows your voice.
I mean, I thought that he would know my voice and he'd be happy about it and it would make him like love me more because I've been talking to him through her belly this whole time. But instead he keeps crying. I don't know what to do.
The good news is that once he's able to comprehend what's going on in the world, then you can start bribing him. That's what I did with my nephew and it worked great.
Just buy him a bunch of shit?
Or like whatever his favorite snack is. You don't even need to buy him a bunch of shit. It's just whatever his favorite snack is. You just sneak it to him every time you see him, and then he associates you with his favorite snack.
Right. That's
and
fucking
it's how
smart.
you'll be the favorite forever.
That's really smart. Get in his little tiny baby brain.
Exactly. That Ricki means good things are coming.
Yeah. Oh, Jake. I've never told you this on the I was going to say on the website. I don't know why I said website. I've never told you this on the podcast, but that's a really smart idea. I'm very impressed by you.
Thanks. I'm really good at manipulating people.
Apparently. What the fuck?
Just feed them their favorite snacks. It works every time.
At least you're good at manipulating babies.
Yeah, that's weird. But it works with adults too. If you see me, if I have your favorite snack every time you see me, you're always going to look forward to seeing me.
I feel like you said this to me one other time, and it might have been on the podcast, that's the reason why you kept chocolate in your desk at work, so that you can give people chocolate to do the same kind of association thing. Or you just made that up one day and said that to me, and that wasn't the actual reason why.
It sounds like something that I would say. I don't remember saying that though. But I did keep chocolate on my desk, so I guess that's true.
You had a whole freaking drawer of chocolate.
Exactly.
Every kind of chocolate you can imagine.
Chocolate, we definitely talked about this before. Because you were right. Every time anyone needed chocolate, I'm going to go to Jake's desk. And then boom.
So people liked you because Jake meant chocolate.
Well, they didn't necessarily like me, but they needed me, which is more important.
Okay, see, this is where it gets interesting now. Because for a baby, the association would be like. But for an adult, the association is I need it.
Right, like why you love your mother so much in the beginning, because you need her.
Right.
There you go. That's the key to life right there.
What? Just being needed?
I don't really know what the takeaway from that is, but I think there's multiples. Always have chocolate on hand and people's favorite snacks.
Which in some cases, their favorite snacks are chocolate.
Yeah.
So it works out. Yeah, you had like the most random chocolates too in there.
It was basically anything that was sent to the radio station that people didn't want, I would just take and keep in my desk.
I remember some like weird ass chocolates that like weren't even from the US that you had. Like I would dig through it because I knew exactly what the chocolates were.
Because anytime somebody would come back from somewhere, they would bring me chocolate.
That makes sense.
So not only are people then needing me, they're now thinking about me.
Right. Look at
It was
that.
It's just great. Chocolate is the key to life. That's it.
They're on
That's the
vacation
takeaway.
and they're thinking about Jakeford and the fact that they need to bring him chocolate.
How nuts is that?
Wow.
Hopefully no nuts, because I don't want nuts in my chocolate.
You don't like nuts in your chocolate?
I like chocolate covered nuts. I don't like nuts in my chocolate.
We're both children.
Oh.
The humor of 7-year-old boys.
Isn't it wild to think that your brother brought a child into the world and he's like here?
Oh, it's so
Like,
weird.
Is your mind not just completely blown?
No, it's the weirdest thing ever. I had him when he wasn't crying. I finally had a moment with him where he wasn't crying and he was comfortable and everything was good. And I was laying on the couch, like with him on my chest. And there was this point where I felt his little tiny baby heartbeat on my chest. And I just started crying. And I was like, oh my God, like this is a living, breathing little being that my little brother created with his girlfriend. Like, what the fuck is happening? Like, it's so crazy.
It is kind of nuts because babies are brought into the world so often. You always see pictures of people that are having kids and whatever, and it's like, oh, congrats.
Especially now at this point in our lives. All of our friends are having babies.
But when it's somebody that you're really close with or related to, it's a whole nother world.
Oh, it's completely different.
It's nuts.
Like, I kept looking at him every second that I got, and I was just like, oh my God, like, look at you. Like, what the heck is going on? And then you get to, like, watch him be a dad, and I'm like, this is so weird. He was talking about how he changed him, and he already peed on him once.
Oh my God.
So I was like, that's good. You've been christened as a dad. Awesome. And then he was going to go swaddle him, and I was like, you know how to swaddle a baby? Like, what the fuck? How do you
take a
know
class
that?
or something?
They like taught him in the hospital how to swaddle him.
Oh.
But I'm like, what the fuck?
And then one day he's going to grow up and you're going to be like, oh my God, I remember when I could feel your little heartbeat on my chest and I just started crying.
And then I'm going to cry all over again because then I'm going to be like, why are you so big? What's going on? It's just going to be a lot of tears from TT Ricki.
It's a lot of crying.
It's a very emotional experience, seriously, because like you said, it's so different when it's somebody who you're like related to, because he's my blood, you know what I mean? It's really cool to watch all my friends have babies because obviously I'm close to my friends, and to see them become moms and dads is a really cool experience. But to have something that's like my blood and part of my brother is just so wild. It's so wild. It's really fucking cool.
It's new generation.
Yeah. Like, it's so crazy. Ugh. He's got the cutest little tiniest toes. Like, they're so small. They're so tiny.
The pictures that you sent me of the first day he was born was so cute.
Oh,
as opposed to the second day that he was born. I'm like, he's the big little chubby cheeks.
He's the biggest
So
cheeks.
cute.
I just kept squeezing them together every chance I got. I was like, oh, they're just so fat.
It's so fluffy.
He is so fluffy, so squishy. I love him. I love him so much. Very exciting experience.
How are they doing as new parents?
They're so happy. They're so excited. They just kept saying how like cool he was and how perfect he was and how happy they are. And she's recovering because she had a C-section. Her name is Leah. Leah had a C-section. So obviously she's like sore and uncomfortable, but she's so happy. They're both just like ecstatic. And I could see the shift in my brother too, like the change in him, where he was like just my brother before, and now he's like my brother the dad, and now he knows what to do with the baby and when to feed him and like swaddle him and change his diaper and stuff. And it's just like so crazy, but they're so happy. My mom cried every like 10 seconds that we were there. Every little thing that the baby did, she started crying.
Oh my God.
My dad got to see him, but I wasn't with him when he saw him. But I know that my dad probably cried a billion times too. Everyone's just super happy. It's like very emotional in my house right now. In a good way.
All of this just makes me realize that I really, really, really am not ready to be a father.
Yeah, no. What my brother kept saying to me, which is so funny. It was so funny to hear my little brother consistently say, like, when you decide to have a kid, you're just you're going to fall in love with him. It's going to be the craziest thing you've ever experienced. He's like, you're just going to think it's so cool. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
I'm like,
I'm not having a baby anytime soon.
I really enjoy my 8 hours of sleep every night right now. And like drinking a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And not having to worry about anything else except for yourself. You know, like feeding yourself and bathing yourself and making sure that you do the right things for you mentally and not having to worry about another living being on top of that. Like, I can't wait for that moment. I just know that it's not going to be anytime soon for me, personally.
Well, at least we know.
Yeah, now I have a nephew, so it's like, why would I even bother having a kid right now? Because now I get to do all the fun stuff.
And then you can just leave when you don't want to be there anymore.
Exactly. And just pass them off. Like, all right, cool, got my fill.
It's the best.
I'm going to enjoy this stage of my life first. Then I'll have kids eventually at some point when we decide to. Whatever the heck that's going to be.
Long time from now.
The worst part is that you would think that because my brother had a baby, everyone would leave me the fuck alone. But it's like everyone's asking me even more than they did before when I'm going to have a baby.
Oh, what?
I thought that they would be excited to just like my parents would have their grandkid, my grandparents would have their great grandkid, and everybody would just be like fine and dandy and like, okay, great, we got one. Like, awesome. Don't have to worry about it anymore or harass Ricki. But it's almost even more. It's more harassment.
Now they want more children already? Like, they just had this child.
Yes.
Like, back off.
They want everyone to grow up together, which I get, but it's like, relax.
Oh, man. Well, they could still be close even if you wait like 5 years to have a child.
Yeah, and that's kind of the game plan. Maybe even more than that. We'll see what happens. But
yeah, right? Whatever. My niece and my nephew are...
You're the worst uncle
years?
ever.
9
Literally
years apart?
the worst.
Well, they're very far apart, but that's still fine. They could still be close one day. Or even now they're close, you know?
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. It's just funny for me because I thought I was going to get like a break from all the questioning.
I'm surprised
and it got worse.
You didn't. I would expect the same thing.
Not in my family. Not in mine.
Damn. Well, you better start pushing them out.
Not happening.
What are you doing tonight?
Not that. I'm especially not that tonight.
Trying to start pushing out some children?
No.
You could start a whole family of like little radio babies, and then you guys could just like create a radio station, and it's all run by everyone in your family.
I would never wish such an evil thing upon my children and my nieces and nephews.
Imagine the egos in that family. Oh my God.
If I have a kid and my kid comes to me and says, Mommy, I want to be just like you and be in radio and be a radio host, I will smack that child.
You say, no, you don't.
No, you do not.
Do something different with your life.
I would never smack my child, but I would definitely say absolutely fucking not. You are not allowed to do that. We'll pick a better path for you.
Yeah, we will control your hopes and dreams. And that hope and dream is dead.
Oh my God.
But who knows? By the time you have children, there's going to be
so bad that way.
There's going to be a whole nother world of things out there, like Clubhouse, that sucks.
Right. It would actually probably be mostly them coming to me and saying they wanted to be an influencer or something.
Ugh.
Which in that case, I would again be like, no, you do not.
I'm just sad that our children won't get to grow up with Club Penguin.
That's what you're concerned about?
Or like SpongeBob.
SpongeBob, yes. That I get.
Or like Nick at Night. Oh my God, remember Nick at Night?
Yes.
Oh, I used to love staying up for Nick at Night.
Heck yeah, because it was like a privilege that you got to stay up late to watch that stuff.
I never had Disney Channel, so Nick at Night was my jam.
You never had Disney Channel?
No, I don't know why. We just never had it.
I had Disney Channel. I loved it.
I'm really confused. Like, I need to ask my parents why they never got Disney Channel.
Yeah, go ask your parents why they didn't love you. See what they say.
Because I had enough stimulation with my two siblings and Nick at Night, I guess. But I had like gaming systems. We would always get like, I had the Nintendo 64. I had GameCube.
Oh, yeah.
I had the Wii.
Heck
We
yeah.
do Wii Fit. Remember the Wii? Good times.
Yeah, I never really played Wii that much though, because I played more video games when I was like much younger. So I was more of like a PlayStation gal, where I would play Frogger and things like that on PlayStation.
Frogger. How come the Wii never, like, do they sell the Wii anymore?
I don't know.
It's also a weird name.
It's the weirdest name. I don't know if they still sell them. I would assume so.
Let's see. Oh, you can still buy it at Walmart? Oh, no, this is used. I don't think they make them anymore.
Maybe people just got bored of them because they have to actually do things with them. Like it's more active.
Yeah, I don't know.
Video
Weird,
games,
though.
you're normally just sitting there and just moving your fingers, every so often moving your arms when you get angry. But like
Right.
the Wii, you have to actually stand up and be functional. And that's now fun. Like, why would you want to do that?
Yeah, this country is way too lazy for the Nintendo Wii. Maybe it's still big in other countries, but definitely not here.
Well, yeah, we have so many other options now.
But like the PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 are out still. So like why did the Nintendo Wii not stick around?
I don't know. I mean, PlayStation they had the best games though. So they knew what they were doing.
What number are they on right now? 4? 7?
I think like 7.
5? I have no idea.
I want to say 7. 7
It's
sounds
funny
right to me for some
that
reason.
I had all the big gaming consoles when we were kids, but I never turned into like a gamer.
Yeah, I thought my brother was going to be one of those people, but he kind of slowly drifted away from it. Started doing
kinda
things like
pissed off.
skateboarding and stuff instead.
I feel like I could have been a big streamer if I was a gamer.
I don't think you could have, so I think it's best that you didn't.
Bajillions of dollars right now,
I
just
don't
sitting
know.
playing video games.
I don't know if that's in the cards for you, Jake. Clearly it wasn't because it didn't work out that way, but
Yeah. Sad.
is it
Sad
though?
reality.
Is
And then I
it?
look at like David Dobrik's new house that he just bought, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, but
did
he wasn't a
do?
gamer.
No, he was just an internet person.
Right.
Still
I
is.
mean, that's something that, if anything, I get regretting that. Not getting into the YouTube game earlier on in life, because the people that got into it early on are now making millions of dollars our age.
I do not regret that.
I kind of do.
I do not want to be a YouTube person.
I would
'Cause I'm
not
like-
mind being David Dobrik, just a female person.
Well, yeah. Okay, David Dobrik is a different example though, because and I know this is a like I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Whatever. I feel like whenever you think you know a celebrity, you don't actually know a celebrity, right? But David Dobrik is the one person to me that actually looks like he has a good time and like enjoys his life.
Right.
As opposed to a lot of celebrities where their life looks all glamorous and everything, but then behind closed doors, you never really know what happens. You know, same thing with him. You never know what happens behind closed doors. But out of everybody that I watch and see on social media, he looks the most real.
Well, he gets to just be a
Genuine.
kid 24/7 and he makes millions of dollars doing it. Who the fuck wouldn't just be genuinely happy?
And all of his best friends work for him.
Come on.
Like,
Yeah.
what?
Exactly. There's nothing to be sad about if you're David Dobrik. If he were sad and hated his life, then I would be so mad. I'd be like, you have
But he
nothing to
might
be
be.
upset about.
Because it's all about eyeballs on your page, and then when you don't get enough eyeballs, then you're really sad, and it's like...
Yeah, but he
It's
does so
just
many
a-
other things based off of doing the YouTube channel that he does. So like,
yeah, I mean,
I think
he's a
he'd be
fucking
fine.
genius. Like the puzzle. Did you buy the
Yes.
puzzle? Did you tell me you bought this puzzle?
I didn't. I wanted to though, because I actually was genuinely curious if I could make it work and make the money.
If you don't know what his puzzle is, he came out with this like QR code puzzle, and every puzzle won a certain amount of money from like 25 cents, and the most was what, 100K, I think.
Something like that. It was a lot of money.
And so if you got it's basically like Willy Wonka's golden ticket.
Yep. New age way.
Genius. And then he has his app, Dispo, which is the disposable camera app. He's
And
fucking
he
genius.
also is doing a podcast, I believe, with a bunch of his friends as well. He's got a million things that he does. So like he's set, even if his YouTube page ends up not doing that great that week, he's got a million other things that are doing great. So
Yeah, this man could retire at 25 or however old he is.
that's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm pissed that I didn't think about getting into these things earlier on when it wasn't so saturated with so many people. You know, like he got it in ahead of the game, and that's why he's doing so well. And obviously he makes content that people like.
Right. I think about that with TikTok though, because so one of the co-founders of my company, Gary Vaynerchuk, was pushing TikTok really, really hard. And for a long time, like before it really blew up. And of course I was just like, whatever. It's just another social media. It's just like Clubhouse sucks, whatever. TikTok sucks. If I would have jumped on it when he started talking about it, I could have been in at the very, very early stages. But of course I didn't, because I followed the rest of the world and waited until it got big. Yeah. So if anything I've learned, listen to what he says when he says it. Because he's usually right.
Well, there you go. So just listen. I can never say his name right. Vaynerchuk.
He's at Gary VEE on all social medias.
That I can say. But I can never say his last name right. I mess it up every time, and I say it differently each time I say it.
So right now he is talking about CryptoPunks. Have you ever heard of that?
Nope.
So I'm going to show you what it is, and you're going to roll your eyes very hard. It's basically a new type of currency, I guess. I don't know if you can call it that, where it's these little things. This is a CryptoPunk. If you're not watching us on YouTube right now, you can find us on YouTube and see what I'm talking about.
Kind of looks like a little human head.
Yes, that's all it is.
With like a mask on his face, like a bandit.
So this one is currently being offered, which means they're asking $41,000.
What is it? Like, what do you get for the 41,000? Like, I'm
going to show you what you get for $41,000.
You just get the little picture of the little head?
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Cryptocurrency doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever, and my parents keep talking to me about it and telling me to buy cryptocurrency, but I keep saying that I can't buy it because I don't know what the fuck it is. I'm not buying something that I don't know what it actually is or how it actually fucking works.
Right, it's different.
And no one can explain it to me.
It's different when he talks about TikTok, and that's free to join, rather than this when you're like, so this is part of this. There's a whole world out there of crypto stuff that I'm trying to discover, because apparently there's a huge market for it, like Pokemon cards. Did you know people are trading Pokemon cards for ridiculous amounts of money?
Like in cryptocurrency or just in money?
No, real money.
Well, I know that. I feel like that's always been a thing.
Yeah, but now they've like blown up.
Oh, really? Like they got more popular?
Oh, yeah. That's why they're selling for so much money, because there's such a demand for it now. It's so crazy to me.
That's
but
so
this
random.
is a little bit different. I don't know. This is a little bit different because you have to have stupid amounts of money to buy this. And then I'm like, even if I had $41,000 to drop on a picture of a dude in a freaking bandit mask, I'm like, you could just be throwing that money away.
Yeah, I don't get it. So I won't involve myself just yet. And like I said, every time I ask somebody to explain it to me, they don't explain it to me in a way that makes any sense. It seems like they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about.
I don't think anyone really knows.
Just too weird. Yeah, I'm not
like none of it
interested.
actually makes sense. That's the thing. Like cryptocurrency, it's a form of currency, but it's not real.
That's what I'm saying. So like I don't get it. It's not backed by anything as far as I know, and it's literally just like floating in the, like, it's not a thing. I don't know. It's weird. I don't like it. It freaks me out.
It's a mind-blowing thing.
And I won't get involved because I can't understand it. Until someone can explain it to me to a place where it makes sense to me, then I would invest. But right now I'm like, doesn't make any fucking sense.
Literally nothing about it makes sense. Like Bitcoin, for one Bitcoin was $10,000 like 6 months ago. And now it's at, I didn't check today, but it's at like $55,000 for one Bitcoin. So if you would have bought one, you would have made like $45,000 just by doing nothing.
Then how do you get the actual money of that though? Not the Bitcoin money of whatever.
Then you got to sell it.
And then you get actual money?
Yeah. Because you buy it with actual money, and then you have Bitcoin. But now you can buy stuff with Bitcoin or something. I don't know. It's just like so. It's if somebody understands this, please DM us at 20SDN podcast.
Explain.
Or if you have a
We are
shitload
very
of Bitcoin, let me know.
We are super dumb and do not understand.
We
Please
not
help.
smart.
No smarts here. No.
But so a lot of people have made a shitload of money on YouTube by jumping on that early, and now people are gonna make money off of these fucking crypto punks.
Yeah.
But it's not. I don't know. It makes me angry because I don't get it.
I could see the anger.
I've been
your
trying
voice
to
gets high. And I'm like, oh,
see it in
mad.
my voice.
Yeah.
I've been trying to read about it and learn about it instead of just being like, I don't get it. But I still don't get it.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. Deep breath. Deep breath so you're zened out for our next topic.
As a 20-something, we should understand this. Like, this is our thing.
But it's not.
Because the generation after us, what are they, Gen Z?
Yes.
Gen whatever. They're not the ones doing this because they're not spending $30,000.
They don't have
$30,000.
12.
Right, exactly. So our generation is the ones that should know this. Like, I feel like the people that are doing this are people our age.
I mean, I guess, but no one's been able to explain it to me, so I don't even know if it's necessarily people our age.
We need a crash course real bad.
Is there like a Bitcoin for Dummies book I can buy?
Probably. By the time you get through it, it'll be worth $100,000 for one coin.
Great. So I'm so behind, I'll never actually get anything out of this. By the time I realize what it actually is, I'm fucked.
Well, then there's people that think that Bitcoin could get up to $100,000, but then I'm like, how are you making these projections? Because there was no thing like Bitcoin.
Right.
I don't know. I think the theme of this episode is we have no fucking idea.
I think that's the theme of every episode. It's just the podcast as a whole.
We have no fucking idea. Maybe we should change the name. Sorry,
maybe that's
we have
what we
no
change
clue.
it to when we turn 30.
Sorry, no fucking idea.
I actually really like that.
Thanks, trademark.
You wanted to talk about your coworkers or someone having coworkers virtually.
Yes.
That took you a second.
Yeah, it was my friend who was also my old coworker, Heather. She, hopefully she doesn't mind me using her name, but whatever. She she joined another company virtually a few months ago, and then went into her office last week for the first time ever. So she met some of the people that work for a company in person for the first time ever after working for them for a few months virtually.
Right. Weird.
Yeah, and she was like, I've met all of them over Zoom, and then when I met them in person, I was like, wow, everyone looks so different.
Really?
And I was like, I can't imagine that because I haven't had this experience where you meet someone and you form this sort of relationship, whether it's coworkers or friendships or whatever, virtually, and it's all over FaceTime or Zoom, and then you meet in person and having had never seen them before.
So, yeah, that's really fucking strange. And obviously, it's just the way of the world right now, and there's not much we could do about it, but it's like the weirdest thing to think about. But I've been interviewing for jobs, and all of my interviews have been over Zoom or FaceTime. And that's weird.
Right. Imagine how different it would be if it was in person, because you could either vibe way better in person or you're vibing better over Zoom, right? Like whatever job you land could have been totally different if the interview was in person.
Totally. And it's weird. It's even more strange for someone in radio, because when you're on air in radio and you're looking for another job with a different show, you typically audition for that show where, you know, they fly you out, you stay with them for a few days, you see the city that you're going to possibly live in, you meet everybody in the building, you are on air during the time that you're there, so you get a feel for how everything is, you see everybody's chemistry. It's like how movie stars do chem tests before they pick the lead roles to make sure that the two love interests actually work and make sense. It's the same kind of idea. And right now, we can't do that in person. So you have to do like a mock trial of a show through Zoom. And it's just a totally different vibe. It's really awkward. Weird. It's so weird. Awkward.
Well, that's really interesting because we've talked about this a lot, how we're so tired of Zoom parties and whatever, because they're just so weird. So then taking that and trying to audition for a job where you, like, everything is based off of in person.
It's all vibes and it's all timing and things like that. And it's so weird to do it on, like, over Zoom.
Yeah. Like, the in-person vibes is so different from virtual vibes. And so there's a few coworkers, well, majority of my coworkers now I've never met in person because we grew so much and majority of them have joined virtually.
Right.
And there's a few of them that I feel like I have a good friendship with. But it's so weird because we've never hung out in person. We've never gone to a bar after work, or we've never gone out to lunch during work. You know, it's literally based off of the interactions that we have during the workday.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, are you guys going to be friends when you're actually working with each other? Because that's one thing I think about is you're only with these people for a little bit over Zoom. You know what I mean? Or for you, I'm sure you guys have like a messaging service that you use, like Slack or something like that you guys like communicate. Yeah. Okay. Fantastic way to get to know each other. Like that is something right there. So you guys like communicate through that, but it's weird to communicate through anything that's over a computer or your phone as opposed to in real life because you could be a totally different person. Like for you, for instance, you say all the time that you're so much better when it comes to dating through text, like when you're first meeting someone and like texting them all the time, and then you see them in person, and that's where you kind of have like a little bit of a problem. But that's, if you correlate that into your coworkers, the same thing could happen.
Absolutely. It's going to be so interesting if one day I meet them because like one of my coworkers lives in Austin, Texas. So I was talking about her last week because she had no power.
Right.
And I don't know if I'm ever going to meet her in person.
So weird.
No idea. So it's just like really odd because it's made work become more work than, or more a job than work.
Yeah.
You know, because like part of the fun of work was going to the office and hanging with people and eating lunch with another team.
Yeah, those connections.
Right. And it's like, what are you doing? Do you want to get sushi after work today? Or do you want to get a drink? Or, oh, it's like Friday at 4 p.m. Let's just go get a drink.
You become really close with the people that you work with because you see them every single day.
Now what?
Yeah.
And most companies are going to stay virtual. And that is the thing that scares me. Because a majority of companies, I don't know if I can say that. I have no information backing this. A majority of the companies...
all of your resources
of companies that I have encountered or
thought about.
I don't know. Thought about a lot of companies. Let's change it to that.
Right. Sure.
A lot of companies are either going fully virtual or they're going to do like a part-time in the office situation where like they'll do a few days in the week in the office, a few days, whatever. But with my job that I have now, I'm now working from my home 2 days a week, and then I'm working from a studio 3 days a week.
Yes.
But even when there's people back in the office, my studio is a closet that I sit in all day and don't interact with other people. So like, am I ever going to interact with other people again? And it's driving me incredibly nuts.
I think you're doomed, if we're being honest.
What I want to do, and I feel like we've discussed this before, is we are being completely honest. Thanks. I'm going to keep saying it just so that you can keep following up with that. I honestly just said it this time to see if you honestly would just answer that way. What was I saying? I don't even know. Oh, we've talked about this before. My idea is that I want to move into a house with a bunch of people, like a bunch of creative people, where kind of like a TikTok house, but not a TikTok house because I don't want to be associated with them.
Right. A cooler version of a TikTok house.
It's like 10 to 15 people that live in this house, and we all have our own bedroom and share the common spaces. And when we're not doing our normal 9 to 5 jobs, we are either hanging out or doing other fun things.
Yeah, like creating things together.
Yeah. Because thinking about this, like, I really don't know if I will ever have coworkers in person again.
I really hope you do, though. I don't like that idea. I think it's nice for the option for people to be virtual, just because I do think that work-life balance is tough, especially in America, because we don't know when to fucking stop. So I think the idea of doing virtual helps that, you know what I mean? Especially for people who have kids and things like that, long commutes. It's nice to have the option to work from home, but to be fully work from home, I don't think that that's a benefit to everybody the way that they think it is. I mean, I worked from home for years when I was doing my writing and editing job that I had. And I constantly just worked alone and I hated it. It drove me insane. I couldn't do it. Like, it got to a point where I was like, this is so miserable. I knew basically none of my coworkers because we were never around each other. I just knew their names and we would bump into each other maybe, I don't know, twice a month or something like that, because I would come into the office and that was it. And I didn't like that vibe. That vibe freaked me out. I'm a more like people. Like, I like to be around people and I want to talk to them in person and I want to have conversations with them. And like you said, especially when you're being creative, it's a lot easier to have somebody with you so you can bounce ideas off of them and have them in person and try things out and do things together. And then you can create something that's really cool. But to do that all virtually is really tough.
Yeah, my roommate is here mostly every day, which is amazing because I would go, like, I was here for 2 months without him, or he was not here for 2 months, and it was horrible. It was like every day I had no one to interact with. At least we'll like shoot the shit every day and whatever. We'll like have little conversations throughout the day, so we're not just like talking to nobody the entire day. But I thought I was going to hate working from home. Like, the whole idea of working from home, like, fuck this. I remember saying it in March. I was like, I'm not going to work from home. Like, what? And now I'm like, damn, this is pretty nice. But I do really, really, really miss the human interaction. And you and I are very similar in that way, where we're like to be around people and always be doing something. And so when you have this job that turns into just no humans, it's like a little terrifying.
It's also hard to leave work when you can't physically leave work.
Right. You said that the work-life balance is hard and working from home helps that. I think working from home makes it even worse.
I think
because
it helps
you end up
when
working
you have a
later.
family.
Yeah. If I had a family, it would be freaking awesome. I'd work from home all day, every day, because you get to spend every day with them.
I think us and our age, you're right. I think it is harder to stop working. But when you have a family, I think it's nice because then it's like, okay, 5 o'clock, close the laptop. Let's make dinner. Let's like do something as a family. Let's all be together. You don't have to drive home an hour or then wake up earlier because you have to drive to work an hour, like things like that. Right now, obviously, it's tough for a lot of families because they're doing virtual learning because of school. But once that stops, I think that working virtual is nice for families. And there can be benefits to it. But I, again, will say, I think it would just drive me crazy. I would need a balance of, like you said, where you do the studio a few days a week and then you're at home a few days a week. That's like something I would have to do if it was an option.
Yeah. So I've been driving to the studio and it takes me about an hour because of traffic. It should take me like 30 minutes. And it sucks. But during when I'm sitting in traffic, I'm like, damn, I'm just so happy to have my apartment back because the stuff was legitimately taking over my apartment.
Yeah,
like,
you had a lot of shit.
My bedroom was full of stuff, and the dining room and the hallway, and it was just like there was no separation of work and life. It was work is my apartment.
Yeah.
And so now I have that separation, and so when I'm working from home, it's just my desk and my monitor, and it's amazing. And so even though I have this shitty commute now, I'm like, it's the balance of like having a life outside of work and having my life be work.
Right. Totally.
So I will take it any day. I will sit in traffic 3 days a week as long as I need to.
This gives us a lot of perspective, everything that's happening, you know, the difference in the major changes in life that nobody expected. Lots of perspective for the things that we took for granted or complained about all the time.
Right. Like, imagine if this becomes the new norm, which it's going to, and it stays the new norm for however long until there's another pandemic. When you and I have children.
What did you just say?
I know there's going to be another one eventually.
Do
when
not
you and I
wish that ill will on the universe.
It's going to happen.
Negativity.
It's bound to happen. Like, look
here.
at the flu of whatever, and then polio, and then
it was
whatever.
like 100 years apart from each other. Don't. No.
Okay, but I'm saying it's going to be a long time from now. But so before that happens, you and I are probably going to have children. Trigger warning. You and I are probably going to have children, right? So we might be very happy about this one day.
Yeah.
And maybe some people that maybe you listening have a child and you're like, I've never been happier. If that's you, tweet us at 20SDN podcast and let us know. Are you liking working from home or do you hate your life?
Oh my God. Nice and blunt. There we go.
Yeah.
I think what it comes down to is if I get a job through these Zoom auditions and Zoom interviews, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how different everything is once I get there. And it kind of freaks me out a little bit. But there's nothing I can do about that. I just got to go with the flow.
Right.
Live my life and just hope for the best.
Like Florida where they're all working in offices and everything's normal.
No. I'm good. Thanks. I'm good. Thanks so much.
Good times. Good times.
All right, you ready to hop in the shower?
I am ready. Can you hear those church bells right now?
I can. What is that?
It's like the church is right behind my house or apartment.
Oh, it's a real actual church?
Yep. Every hour on the freaking hour.
No fucking
Why are
way.
church bells still a thing? Did you know that?
How come I never heard it when I was there?
Because you weren't in my bedroom?
Oh, you only hear it in your bedroom?
No, you can hear it if you're in like the kitchen too, but you don't really hear it when you're in the living room.
In the living room? Okay.
Weird.
It's where I spend most of my time, and in your apartment is in your living room, so that would make sense.
That is very true.
So what were you going to ask me? You were going to say something about church bells.
Oh, are church bells actually... I heard that church bells are not actually bells. Most are not actually bells anymore.
Oh.
Is that... Do you know if that's true?
What are they then?
Like it's a recording?
It's a recording that they just let out through speakers?
That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true.
No fucking way. That is the most like non-authentic thing I could possibly hear. No, there's
also it would really piss me off
No.
because I'm like, is that really necessary to do every hour on the hour when I can hear it in my bedroom?
Hold on.
But it stops at a certain time. I forget what... I don't know. Actually, don't know what time it stops. You know, it's nuts. I've lived here for 5 years and I can't tell you what times the bells go off.
Oh my God, even church bells go digital.
What?
Maybe they weren't lying. Reproducing the
What?
sound of carillon bells is less expensive than the real thing. Oh my goodness. So yeah, some churches have digital recordings of bells. It's not a real actual bell. I thought it was like the big bells in the tower that they ding dong.
Ding dong. Right. If it's an actual bell, does somebody have to be there to do it? I have so many questions.
So,
we need
yeah.
church people. I need a church bell worker to contact me, please.
It says yeah. I guess it's just less expensive. I'm so confused. But now
Less
I'm wondering if those are just the bells that like the whatchamacallit, it's like no, I guess not. I guess it is the big bell. What the fuck?
I don't
That's
know what
so
you're talking
weird.
about. Are you ready to shower?
Yeah, I'm ready to shower. I'm freaking out a little bit. That's like fucked up. You just ruined my night.
That would have been a good addition of random shit.
I'm also like pretending like I really care. I haven't been to church in forever, but I'm just like freaked out by the idea of like the bells being fake, that they fooled me for this long. Jesus.
Also, I had Dunkaroos recently.
I love
this
Dunkaroos.
weekend.
I can't have them
They're
anymore.
different now, though.
They taste
You're not missing
different.
anything.
Yeah,
the
they
cookie
taste
used to be
different.
like cinnamon, and now it's just vanilla.
Yeah.
It used to be like
definitely different.
Teddy Graham, and now it's just like a graham.
You're a Teddy Graham.
Thanks.
Okay, get in the shower.
Oh.
Instead It always freaks me out.
Why? Does it sound like I just took a really big shit?
Yes.
That's funny because I'm thinking about shit right now. You ever think that humans require years of training to not shit yourself?
Yeah, it's really fucked up. Like, really messed up.
Like, we have to be potty trained.
Yeah. Totally.
Like, it's 2021. Can't we just fucking potty train ourselves?
What about the fact that when you're born, you shit yourself, and then you're most likely going to shit yourself when you die, too?
Was that your shower thought?
No.
Wait, first of all, do babies always shit themselves when they're born?
No, not like when they're born, but like, I was
Oh.
more so thinking the fact that like babies shit themselves. And then like when you're old, you also shit yourself.
Oh. I heard recently that they put butt plugs into dead people because things seep out.
Really?
This episode is a lot of things, me saying things that I don't know if they're actually true or not. So don't go spreading this shit to your friends. No pun intended.
And do not reference us while you're spreading this shit.
This is the problem with TikTok. It's a bunch of things that are probably not true.
Ew.
Yeah. All right. What are you thinking in the shower?
I'm thinking how freaked out I am about getting a butt plug when I die. Wow, okay, that's fucked up. I'm thinking about, like, have you ever realized that when we eat pizza, we eat it inside out?
Huh?
Like when you
Whoa.
have a pizza
Whoa.
and you cut it into, like you're eating the inside to the outside.
Whoa.
Because the outside is the crust.
My friend discovered that if he eats pizza upside down, he tastes it more, but I tried it and I don't think you can
I've
taste
done
it
that
more.
before because I thought the same thing. I don't think it makes a
Yeah.
difference. It all gets mushed up in your mouth
Why
anyways.
do you eat it inside out? Do you like the corner brownies the best or the middle brownies?
Middle brownies.
Me too. I don't really like the corner ones, but I love crust. Do you like crust?
I do like crust, but only
pizza?
certain crust.
Yeah.
And it depends on how I'm feeling because some days I'm like, I really don't want crust. And then other days, like, I want other people's crust. You know what I mean?
No, I don't, but I'll always eat your crust if you don't want it.
Perfect. This is why this relationship works so well.
I'm just a crust eater.
Crusty ass motherfucker.
Today
All
we're
right,
talking
Jakeford.
about crusts and shit.
Do your spiel.
You can, well, first of all, thanks for joining us in the shower. It's always a little uncomfortable having you in my shower.
You love it, you liar.
We have a lot of questions for everybody during this episode, so please answer all of them.
Every
Either
single
DM
one.
us or tweet us at 20SDN Podcast, or you can text us 201-588-5139. Oh, we have a new text that I just read.
Oh.
It says, just listen to this week's podcast. So funny. Your restaurant should be halvesies. Oh, Ricki responded.
I did respond and I said, ooh, I like that. But I thought that we said that in the episode, but I wasn't sure if we did or not. Because sometimes I forget about what we say. Because you know how sometimes like you're just talking and talking and talking so much that you can't remember everything that you actually thought or said. And then sometimes
Yes.
you wonder like what you thought and didn't say and what you did actually
Yes.
say.
And what
So-
was a dream and what wasn't?
Yeah, that's my life most of the time. So that's why I
Yep.
was like, oh, I like that. And then was like, did we actually say that?
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't remember.
And on that note, thanks for joining us every week and sharing us with your friends, because your friends will like you better if you share us.
Yes.
I don't make the rules. It just happens.
Awesome. Catch you next week.